chosen one. The moment you find yourself here is not a coincidence, but an appointed meeting that heaven carefully prepared, so that you might recognize that the things delayed for so long are now entering their designated time. I want you to pause, breathe deeply, and look upon your journey with new eyes. There were prayers that seemed to dissolve into silence, doors that made you wait so long that you nearly stopped expecting them to open, and desires you placed in a hidden corner of your heart because you feared another disappointment. Yet, that silence was not abandonment, and the waiting was never the end. Every time you kept your heart upright through seasons of lack, every time you chose peace instead of despair, and every step you continued taking when no one was watching brought you closer to this moment. I saw what others did not see. I knew about the tears you quietly wiped away, and now I remind you that a season of transformation is standing directly before you. Although voices once tried to diminish your future, circumstances caused you to question your worth, and resistance planted the belief that you would always have to live within limitations. None of these things were ever given the right to participate in heaven's judgment over your life. Do not give others the authority to define you when they have seen only one brief part of your story. They may know about the times when your steps slowed, but they do not know what I was cultivating in the silence. They may look at what you do not yet possess, but they cannot see the abilities being awakened, the wisdom growing deeper, or the steadfastness forming within you day by day. What I placed upon you cannot be erased by one difficult season, one failure, or an unjust opinion. Human rejection cannot rewrite what heaven has decided. Your future belongs to a higher guidance, and what has been prepared for you does not require permission from anyone who doubted, disregarded, or abandoned you. Now you are standing at the threshold of a shift that exceeds familiar calculations, where elevation may arrive unexpectedly, provision may appear at exactly the right moment, and restoration may move more quickly than any explanation. I am not saying that you will no longer need to prepare, learn, or act. I am saying that your efforts will no longer stand alone. Faithful steps will meet the right opportunity. Diligent work will meet the proper time, and the seeds you quietly planted will encounter the rain they need. There were doors you pushed against until you were exhausted. Yet they never opened because they did not lead where you were meant to go. But other doors will open with such ease that you will understand that what is right does not always require you to break yourself apart. Therefore, keep your mind clear, preserve your peace, and do not run hastily after every invitation. A shift that comes from me does not create chaos. It brings clarity, order, and a profound awareness that you have been placed exactly where you need to be. What is coming toward you does not concern only finances, position, or visible possessions. It also concerns the restoration of your inner authority to the place where it has always belonged. For many years, you allowed fear to speak before you did. You permitted old memories to weaken your inner voice. And you entered many rooms as though you needed permission simply to exist there. But that season is ending. I am teaching you to stand upright without becoming arrogant, to speak without causing harm, and to make choices without trembling before the displeasure of others. Your authority does not lie in controlling anyone. It lies in your ability to preserve peace, manage what has been entrusted to you, recognize what no longer belongs in your life, and move forward without being pulled backward by the past. When you understand who you are beneath heaven's gaze, You will no longer fight for recognition. You will enter with calmness, speak with discernment, and act with compassion. This is a restoration no title or amount of money can replace. The difficult years, the restraint you practiced, and your quiet faith were not wasted. They became a furnace that strengthened your shoulders, so that you could carry the blessings soon to be released. Had increase come too early, you might have used it merely to fill emptiness, rather than build something lasting. Had a door opened before you learned discernment, you might have entered a place that appeared impressive but contained no peace. Therefore, do not despise the seasons in which you had to live. Simply wait, listen, and correct yourself. Those very days taught you how to value, manage, and recognize what is truly important. I am not only preparing a gift for you, I am also preparing you so that you will not lose yourself when the gift arrives. This maturity will steady you when praise comes, protect you when resources increase, and remind you that abundance is not intended to separate you from others, but to allow goodness to flow through you and touch many lives. Heavenly intervention is beginning to reverse the limitations that once surrounded you. You must understand clearly that poverty, lack, and struggle were never your identity or your final assignment. They were a passage of experience, not the home in which you were required to remain forever. Difficult days taught you endurance, but you do not need to glorify pain as though it were your destiny. I have not called you to live permanently in survival mode, nor do I want you to become accustomed to asking only for enough to endure one more day. I am expanding your vision so that you may learn to build, preserve, share, and create lasting value. When the mindset of lack leaves you, you will no longer fear the success of others, compare your journey with theirs, or make decisions in panic. You will understand that heaven's supply is not exhausted, and what is meant for you is not taken away simply because someone else is also being helped. Therefore, your posture must begin changing today. You cannot enter new spaces with an old way of thinking. You cannot receive expansion while still believing that you are insufficient, nor can you preserve something great while your hands remain tightly closed around familiar limitations. Stop entering rooms with the need to convince everyone of your worth. In the places where I lead you, your presence, preparation, and character will become the answer. Conversations will shift, the right connections will recognize you, and the doors that need to open will do so through divine favor rather than through begging or diminishing yourself. Those who believed your story had ended confused silence with failure, restraint with weakness, and waiting with rejection. But I used that very silence to establish your foundation, the slower pace to teach you stability, and the days without recognition to free you from dependence upon applause. Therefore, do not return to explain your past or prove anything. Continue forward with humility, discernment, and steady faith. What is about to appear in your life will speak for itself, and when it comes, you will understand that not one day of waiting was wasted. My child, there is a clear difference between sudden wealth and a sacred transfer prepared over a long journey. Something that appears too quickly can overwhelm an unprepared person, cause them to lose direction, or lead them to misuse what they have received. But what I place into your hands, after a long process, will not make you a stranger to yourself, because you have been taught restraint when you possess choices, humility when you are elevated, and the ability to see beyond temporary attractions. A true transfer does not merely change what you possess. It reveals who you have become after all the hidden years. Practical trials, repeated beginnings, and seasons in which you could depend on no one taught you to value, manage, and preserve greater things. Therefore, when the time comes, the blessing will rest peacefully in your hands, rather than cause you to lose your peace. You once interpreted certain rejections as proof that you were unloved and viewed losses as signs that your path was going in the wrong direction. But now I want you to look back with more mature eyes. Some doors closed, not to humiliate you, but to prevent you from entering places that would have eroded your dignity and discernment. Some people departed, not because you lacked value, but because their presence would have kept you trapped in a narrow pattern of life. Even certain opportunities that appeared perfect were taken from your hands because what was hidden behind them did not align with the future. I was preparing. That was protection, wearing the clothing of disappointment. Heaven does not care only about the gift being given. It also protects the one who will receive it, because there would be no meaning in gaining something great while losing peace, compassion, and the ability to recognize what is right. I never required you to be perfect before entering a good season. Perfection is not the key that opens the door. Faithfulness is what brought you here. You stumbled but rose again, became weary but refused to return to what had wounded you, and experienced doubt but continued doing the work before you. Heaven honors perseverance more than flawless performance. What gives weight to your journey is not that you never became weak, but that whenever weakness came, you still chose to return to the light. This endurance created authority within you. You no longer speak only from theory, but from what you have lived. You no longer counsel others with beautiful but empty phrases, but with understanding purchased through tears, time, and difficult decisions. That very endurance is attracting the provision that aligns with you. What was out of place is being adjusted. Necessary relationships are drawing near, and the systems surrounding you will gradually have to change to accommodate the mature version of who you have become. You may notice that others begin to view you differently. Conversations become more serious, or opportunities that once passed over you return in a clearer form. This is not unpredictable favoritism. It is a natural response to your readiness to enter a new space. What is taking shape will not resemble previous opportunities that came and disappeared, because this time the foundation is different. You are no longer building upon haste, temporary emotion, or the need to prove yourself. You are entering a steadier season in which what opens will be capable of taking root and growing for a long time. Yet, just before a great door begins to move, resistance often increases. Recent days may have left you more exhausted, sensitive, or unexpectedly doubtful about something you once believed with certainty. You may feel as though everything is opposing you at the very moment when you have tried your hardest. But, my beloved child, do not hastily call this failure. Resistance may simply be the sound of old limitations being displaced. When a heavy object is moved from where it has rested for years, it creates vibration. When you prepare to leave an order that has confined you for too long, old habits, fears, and memories will attempt to call you back. Weariness does not necessarily mean you are on the wrong road. Sometimes it means you need to rest, adjust your pace, and continue with wisdom rather than forcing yourself forward through tension. I do not rush what must endure. I stabilize you before expanding your territory. If I give you too soon what your heart is not yet steady enough to preserve, the gift may become a burden. Therefore, there were seasons when I did not immediately change your circumstances, but quietly changed the way you responded to them. I taught you not to decide while afraid, not to spend merely to fill emptiness, not to trust everyone simply because they said what you wanted to hear, and not to abandon a good journey because results had not appeared quickly. These lessons sometimes made you believe that you were being delayed, but in reality, you were being strengthened. Inner stability must always come before outward expansion, because something great requires a vessel strong enough to contain it. Looking back, you will see that many delays that once broke your heart were hidden mercy. Had what you wanted arrived in the earlier season, you might have given it to the wrong person, invested it in the wrong place, or traded your peace merely to keep it. At that time, praise could still easily guide you. Lack could make you panic, and fear of abandonment could shape your decisions. Waiting slowed your steps, but expanded your vision. It taught you to read carefully before committing, think before trusting, and listen for peace before deciding. I did not delay you in order to make you despair. I withheld certain things for a time so that the wisdom within you could mature to the level of what you were about to receive. True provision does not arrive through the shouting of panic. It does not require you to run in fear, accept every condition, or exchange pure values for an opportunity. What comes from me will carry peace, even when it requires courage and effort. You may not know the complete result, yet there will be an inner steadiness you cannot easily explain. You will not need to force, manipulate, or fight for it. What is aligned will come with clarity, order, and proper timing. Therefore, when an opportunity continually steals your sleep, diminishes your dignity, or requires you to live against what is good, pause. Not everything that looks like prosperity is the provision prepared for you. I also know that the fear of loss still awakens from time to time. It was formed during years when you lived in survival mode, always afraid that something good would disappear as quickly as it arrived. But you are no longer in that old season. You do not need to cling so tightly that you can no longer breathe. Nor must you preserve relationships whose purpose has ended simply because you fear emptiness. Provisions supported by faith will not leave you in permanent vigilance. It creates stability and teaches you that even if one door closes, I can open another path, and even if one source changes, the care surrounding you does not disappear. Learn to hold things through gratitude rather than fear, because what is lasting does not require you to lose yourself in order to protect it. As you grow, some relationships will also change. Certain people will rejoice, while others may become uncomfortable, because you are no longer easily controlled, no longer accept disrespect, or are no longer willing to reduce your dreams to preserve false harmony. You do not need to resent them, but neither are you obligated to return to an older version of yourself so that they may feel secure. Humility does not mean self-devaluation, and kindness does not require you to remain in places that continually exhaust you. Walk with respect, without boasting or retaliation, but do not apologize for having grown. Those truly meant for your new journey will not ask you to extinguish your light. They will honor boundaries, encourage development, and build what is good alongside you. My child, the transfer approaching you is not intended only to make your life more abundant. It also confirms that the lessons you endured were not meaningless. You are being entrusted with something greater, because your hands have learned to hold carefully. Your heart has learned humility, and your mind has learned discernment. Continue walking slowly and wisely. Do not allow the final resistance to make you turn back, exhaustion to make you misunderstand the signs, or the reactions of others to cause you to doubt your growth. What is opening has been built upon perseverance, peace, and maturity. Therefore, it will not easily be reversed. You were stabilized before being expanded, protected before receiving authority, and refined before entering abundance. Now receive the new season with open hands, a humble heart, and confidence that what I place in your life will be preserved by the wisdom these past years formed within you. The favor about to enter your life is not born from strained effort. It comes through sacred alignment that has quietly brought you toward the right people, places, and timing. You do not have to run until you are exhausted in order to seize what I appointed for you. Neither must you compete, struggle, or persuade everyone to recognize your value. Some things move farther away the more they are forced. But when your heart returns to its proper position, what belongs to you will begin finding its way toward you. This alignment does not mean sitting passively. It means acting from peace rather than panic, and walking through clarity rather than pressure to prove yourself. I am teaching you to distinguish purposeful effort from toil, rooted in the fear of being left behind. When you stop chasing what was never meant for you, your strength will be preserved to receive what truly aligns. Throughout this time, you have been positioned through qualities that not everyone could see. Your patience prevented you from making impulsive decisions. Your honesty kept you from trading principles for a quick result. Your obedience guided you along roads you did not initially understand, but later recognized as the safest paths. At times you believed you were standing still, while in reality I was moving you away from influences that no longer belonged. At times you felt delayed, but within that slower season, I corrected your direction, purified your motives, and helped you see what was worth continuing. You did not arrive here through luck. Every day you chose integrity, when no one was watching, contributed to positioning you for the new season. My beloved child, understand that obedience does not always appear dramatic. Sometimes it is simply remaining silent. Instead of responding in anger, it is refusing an attractive opportunity because there is no peace within it. It is continuing to fulfill your responsibilities while receiving no recognition. It may also be the courage to leave an environment that has become too narrow for your growth. Every such choice brings you closer to the position I prepared. You may not see the complete map, but I saw the destination from the first step. Therefore, do not underestimate small decisions made with sincerity. They formed you into someone steady enough to receive favor without becoming proud, and discerning enough to recognize opportunity without grasping at every invitation. The next stage of your life will contain less unnecessary struggle and gradually become a season of stewardship. Previously, you had to spend much of your strength merely surviving, protecting boundaries, and finding your way through unstable circumstances. But what is coming will require you to use your energy differently. You will no longer ask only how to survive today. You will begin asking how to build something capable of standing for many years. You will no longer seek only rescue from lack. You will learn to manage abundance responsibly. I will place into your hands opportunities, relationships, ideas, and resources that must be cared for with wisdom. A blessing is not only for your enjoyment, it is also entrusted to you so that you may make it useful healthy, and capable of spreading goodness to those around you. As you enter the season of stewardship, you must learn that receiving more also requires greater maturity. Certain things you previously handled through emotion will now require calmness. Decisions that once affected only you may soon affect your family, colleagues, or those I entrust to your care. Therefore, I am expanding your ability to see farther. I am teaching you not to consume everything as soon as you receive it, not to tell everyone about what is taking shape, and not to turn every open door into a reason for self-exaltation. You will know when to act, when to wait, when to share, and when to protect what is still tender. Wise stewardship will ensure that what I give does not merely appear for a moment, but remains through many seasons. Before I change the external flow, I will stabilize your inner posture. I do not want you entering increase with a panicked mind, or receiving something new with hands still trembling from former losses. Therefore, I am bringing you out of constant defensiveness. You do not need to view everyone as a threat, nor must you suspect every opportunity simply because you were disappointed before. I am helping you rest in peace, see clearly, and respond from a stable position. When the inside is settled, small changes will not make you lose direction. One criticism will not cause you to question your entire worth. One delay will not make you conclude that every door has closed. One person leaving will not persuade you that the road ahead has lost all hope. This stability will change the way you enter new rooms. You will no longer enter wondering whether others will accept you. Instead, you will calmly observe whether that place aligns with what I am building within you. You will not speak excessively merely to gain attention, nor will you withdraw because you fear judgment. You will be gentle yet clear, humble without diminishing yourself, and kind while maintaining boundaries. This is the posture of someone who knows they are being guided. You do not need to control every detail in order to feel safe, because you have learned to trust even when you cannot yet see the entire process. This steadiness will allow good things to remain with you for a longer time. As you are elevated, the need to perform or seek external recognition will gradually diminish. You once felt that you had to explain every decision so that others would understand. You believed that if no one saw you, your effort would become meaningless. But the new season will lead you into deeper peace. You will no longer be controlled by applause, nor destroyed by the silence of the crowd. You will know that what you are building has value even before many people speak its name. You will know that I saw every hidden step, every quiet sacrifice, and every time you chose what was right without receiving an immediate reward. When my affirmation becomes sufficient for you, you will no longer hunger for approval from people who were never given authority over your future. From this place, a quiet authority will grow within you. You will not need to speak loudly for your words to carry weight. You will not need to argue with everyone to prove that you are right. Consistency, peace, and healthy results will speak for themselves. Others will sense that you are no longer easily moved by pressure. Do not quickly change direction because of one remark, and do not trade sacred values for temporary recognition. This steadfastness is not rigidity. It is the ability to preserve what is right while remaining humble enough to receive correction. You will know how to listen without allowing every voice to govern you. You will know how to consider carefully without becoming paralyzed by hesitation. You will know how to move forward without requiring everyone's agreement. Therefore, do not panic if old methods no longer work. I may be closing the season in which you had to strive excessively in order to open a season where alignment accomplishes what your own strength could not. Continue living honestly, patiently, and obediently in small matters. Preserve your peace as opportunities begin appearing, because not every open door requires you to enter. What I have prepared will not require you to become a stranger to yourself. It will make you more mature, responsible, and generous. When favor comes, you will recognize that you are no longer the person who must chase recognition. You have become someone positioned correctly, steady enough to receive, humble enough to manage, and peaceful enough to continue forward without losing the peace I cultivated within you.